Shemuel Alef, 1 Samuel, chapter 1. There was a man from Ramatayim to Zophim in the hills of Ephraim, whose name was Elkanah, the son of Yeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Tezuph, from Ephrat. He had 2 wives, one named Hannah and the other Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. This man went up from a city every year to worship and sacrifice to Adonai Sevaot in Shiloh. The 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Pinchas, were Kohanim of Adonai there. One day when Elkanah was sacrificing, he gave a portion of the sacrifice to his wife Peninnah, and portions to each of her sons and daughters. But to Hannah he gave a double portion, because he loved Hannah, even though Adonai had kept her from having children. Her rival taunted her and made her feel bad, because Adonai had kept her from having children. He did the same every year, and each time she went up to the house of Adonai, he taunted her so much that she would cry and not eat. Her husband Elkanah said to her, "Hannah, why are you crying, and why aren't you eating? Why be so sad? Am I not better to you than 10 sons? So Hannah got up after they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh. Eli the Kohen was sitting on his seat by the doorpost of the temple of Adonai. In deep depression she prayed to Adonai and cried. Then she took a vow. She said, "Adonai Sevaot, if you will notice how humiliated your servant is, if you will remember me and not forget your servant, but will give your servant a male child, then I will give him to Adonai for as long as he lives, and no razor will ever come on his head." She prayed for a long time before Adonai, and as she did so, Eli was watching her mouth. Hannah was speaking in her heart. Her lips moved, but her voice could not be heard. So Eli thought she was drunk. Eli said to her, "How long are you going to stay drunk? Stop drinking your wine." But Hannah answered, "No, my lord, I am a very unhappy woman. I have not drunk either wine or other strong liquor. Rather, I have been pouring out my soul before Adonai. Don't think of your servant as a worthless woman, because I have been speaking from the depth of my distress and anger." Then Eli replied, "Go in peace. May the God of Israel grant what you have asked of him." She replied, "May your servant find favor in your sight." So the woman went on her way, and she ate, and her face was no longer sad. They got up early in the morning and worshipped before Adonai, then returned and came to their house in Ramah. Elkanah had sexual relations with Hannah, his wife, and Adonai remembered her. She conceived, and in due time she gave birth to a son, whom she named Shemuel, Samuel, because I asked Adonai for him. The husband Elkanah went up with all his household to offer the yearly sacrifice to Adonai and fulfill his vow. But Hannah did not go up, explaining to her husband, "Not till the child has been weaned, then I will bring him, so that he can appear before Adonai and live there forever." Her husband Elkanah answered her, "Do what seems good to you. Stay here until you have weaned him. Only may Adonai bring about what he said." So the woman stayed behind and nursed the child until she weaned him. After weaning him, she took him up with her, along with 3 young bulls, a bushel of flour, and a skin of wine, and brought him to the house of Adonai in Shiloh, even though he was just a child. After the bull had been slaughtered, the child was brought to Eli, and she said, "My lord, as surely as you live, my lord, I am the woman who stood here near you, praying to Adonai. I prayed for this child, and Adonai has granted the request I asked of him. Therefore I too have loaned him to Adonai. As long as he lives, he is on loan to Adonai." And he prostrated himself there before Adonai. End of Shemuel Alef, 1 Samuel, chapter 1.